welcome to another episode of the Do It For Yourself podcast. I'm your host Foxanne.
And I'm your host Laura, and this is a podcast for creatives by creatives.
This podcast is a mix of realness and feel-good vibes from your two northern besties.
Ding! I don't know why I do it. It really annoys me every time I say ding and I'm editing it. I'm like, I'm adding a ding in.
You don't need the ding.
Well, anyway.
I stay quiet this time. Usually
I
don't
know.
really stay so
Usually
quiet.
you do it and I join in. Never mind.
So if you are watching, you can see that it's looking a little bit hodgepodge. We're currently sat on the floor filming because, okay, so this episode is actually coming after the episode that's coming next. No, this episode is filmed after the episode that's coming next. So the next episode is with Kawaii Studios.
Very excited.
Very exciting. It's a fabulous episode. But we wanted to kind of put this in to kind of give you all a catch up. So if you haven't read the title of the YouTube video or the podcast, this is an update.
It's an update, and also one thing that we really need to mention, I reckon, at the beginning of the episode is we are, for many reasons, which I'm sure we'll go into in this episode, we're going to go and that we're going to go to 2 episodes. No. We're going to go to 1 episode every 2 weeks.
Yeah, we are.
Instead of once a week, because it's just got a bit too much, hasn't it?
It's got a bit too much, and things that we will talk about later on in the episode, it will become very apparent. So from now, instead of once a week, the episode will be once every fortnight, and we'll just kind of play it by ear. It'll be every other Tuesday, let's just say. One of the reasons was, which we probably won't say, we may as well say now. So when we are filming and editing, it's taken a lot of time out of our week to film and edit, and especially when we've got guests on, it's quite a lot. And also what we found is, like with anything new that you try, you kind of learn as you're going along, really, is that when an episode goes out on a Tuesday, and we kind of tell you who it is on the Monday before. So it's like the Monday, we tell you who it is, then the Tuesday, the episode comes out, and then we're kind of shouting about it. But then by the end of the week, if you haven't caught up, we're announcing the next person. So it seems as if like every episode doesn't get enough time to shine, and you don't get enough time to sit on it, which I think it can be very hard to kind of fall behind on podcast episodes when they're once a week, and it can be a bit overwhelming to kind of catch up.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of put it down to once a fortnight, because then it's easier for us, and it means that every episode can have its time to shine as well.
Yeah,
we can shout about it more, and we can show you more clips on social media, and we can just kind of we can maybe have a bit of a run up towards the next episode.
Like maybe like a whole week to say, this is what's coming up next week.
Yeah.
And
then
get
excited, because we want you to get excited about every single episode, and we're telling you, giving you a sneak peek of who it is on the Monday, and then you only have to wait maybe like 12 hours, and then it's out. And we want to kind of give you more of like a want you to want it. We want you to linger on it for a little bit before we start.
And I think as well, like obviously I do the editing, and it's really easy to fall behind on the editing when it's once a week. Like honestly, as soon as I've caught up, it's like, oh my god, I've got another episode coming out on Tuesday. I've not edited it yet, and it's like it's just a bit stressy, especially because we talk so much, and then like, oh, I've got so much. Like I think there was one which was like 4 hours worth of
we
footage.
filmed 4 hours, and we had to get it down to like under an hour and a half, because we like to have them under an hour and a half, because otherwise it's just a lot. 2 hours is a big chunk out of your day.
So yeah, I'm just going to start off by saying, I don't know if you recall our International Women's Day episode. We talked about 3 things that we loved about each other and that we thought was inspiring. And one of mine was that Foxanne is very determined. When she puts something in, when she says, I'm going to do this, she does it. And I'm just going to say, right, last week's episode, so I was just like looking at it all and like getting it ready for upload on Tuesday. Last week's episode, Roxanne was like, oh, I'm going to try and get a job, and I'm really nervous to talk about it. And I was like, I was saying, I don't know if I said it on the podcast or to Roxanne, I was like, you're really, really determined. You will do it. And guess what, guys? She's only gone and done it.
Absolutely ruined my thingy that I was going to
say. What were you going to say?
I love this. Yes. So, okay. Well, we're getting into it then. I wanted to do this like big build up as if I was like Rocky and like climbing up them stairs.
Do you know what you did? Because you did that to me, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
She was telling me, and I was like, oh God, it's all terrible. And then in the end, she was like, oh yeah, I got this job. I thought, oh my God.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I ruined it.
It's like one of those books where it tells you the end and it kind of like 3 weeks before, like 3 weeks earlier. Do you know, like when you watch the episodes? But yeah, so that's,
they'll probably see it.
They'll probably see it anyway.
It's probably in the title, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair. All right, I'll let you off. Also, I must say, I'm having a little glass of red wine.
Why the
and
hell
I don't
not?
drink wine. I'm a beer and cider girl.
Do you think are you feeling a bit loopy?
There's literally like 2 thimbles worth of wine in here, and I've had like maybe like 4 sips, and I'm already feeling a little bit like. Woo!
Well, if you want some more, I'm sure George won't mind giving you a bit more.
I don't really drink anymore because I just can't deal with a hangover. So like, R.I.P. me. I had. Do you know those little cans of beer? I had half of those cans last Saturday. I was like, oh, I'll have it with my tea. Woke up the next morning rough as shit. So fucking rough.
Right with this wine?
No, I'm gonna feel shit tomorrow. It's fine though. It's
fine.
fine.
We'll get you some water, some paracetamol.
Yeah. So I have a job. Woo!
Oh my God.
I'm so excited. So,
and she just can't hide it.
I can't hide it. So
you did hide it from me, though.
I did hide it from her. I don't know. So let's start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning because it's a good story.
The episode that we filmed a couple of weeks, maybe like a month ago, is the How to Prize Yourself episode, and I said that I wanted to go and get my masters. So I was sitting on that and I was like, I do really want to go and get my masters. And I was like, yeah, but why? Because I've been doing a lot of self-reflection recently. I'm asking myself why quite a lot. I'm like, right, Roxanne, right, I want to do this. Yeah, but why? Why do you want to do that? Do you want to do this because other people want you to do this? Or do you want to do it for yourself? Do you want to do it because you feel like society is making you do this? I'm asking myself why a lot. So I was like, why do you want to go and get your masters? Because as a freelancer, really, there's no need for me to have a master's because you don't even have to have a degree to be a freelancer necessarily. Do you know what I mean?
You've just got to do the work and have the skills.
I know. So I was like, why do I want to do it? And I was like, well, I want to do it because I feel a bit stagnant in what I was doing. I felt a bit stagnant in freelance. I felt like I put so much work into social media, but everybody else is putting in a lot of work for social media as well, and it's kind of hard. And I grew quite a lot during lockdown. I went from like under 1,000 followers to like 12k in like a year and a half.
That is incredible.
Which, with a lot, and I'm going to be completely transparent, the way that I always get asked, how did you grow your following? How did you grow your following? I grew it because I was reshared on quite a lot of like bigger platforms like Benefit and those Women of Illustration, and those big illustration accounts that have like over like $250,000. I was shared quite a lot on those. I put $3,000 during lockdown into Facebook ads. So I did a lot of Facebook ads when you could actually get like the Cheeky Zebra episode, when you could actually get something out of your money. I got quite a lot out of those ads.
Maybe I'll put 40k in, like.
Oh my God, give me 40k first. Just found your 40k loose change.
I know.
This is who we are now.
Really quick little tangent. I've just come back from Italy and I've got like 50p in my account, and I had a few coins and I was like, right, I need to buy these paints from Wilko for my mural in 2 days. And she was like, oh, so that's £5.50, and I gave her all this change. Literally, there was 5p's in there, everything. And this lady behind me was huffing and puffing. I was like, I'm just getting rid of my change. I've got 50p in my account.
It's all money. Like, it adds up to the same amount. I hate it when people do that, when they huff and puff. And it's like, I don't have notes. I have change. And this is stuff that I've kind of just like picked up around the house just to feel, please can I have this?
I was like, I need to get these paints.
Oh, so what was I saying? So yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me.
Going off on a tangent. Yeah, so when people usually ask, that's what I say. Like, I did grow quite a lot, but also I put a lot of time and effort into social media and into growing, and I was on it from when I woke up to when I went to sleep, and that's a lot a lot of hours to put into something, and I don't
Yeah.
have that mental capacity for it at the minute, and I don't have it, and I've not had it for a while, if I'm being honest. All these people, like, I think if I'm being truthful to myself and to you guys listening, it's probably because since it's become more of a video app, I find, obviously we do the podcast and this is video, but that takes all of my video creativity out. Like, I feel like we've all got so many levels, and I put so much time and effort into making reels for the podcast and making, like, the videos for this and filming stuff for this, that when it comes to the Foxanne stuff for filming, I struggle with it, and I just want to draw and make pretty pictures.
It's hard. It's just a different platform now, isn't it?
It is. And I seen something on some I can't remember, it was this guy, I think this guy was from, he's a graphic designer from India, and he was saying about how he wishes that Instagram had two apps, so you would have an Instagram app and then a Reels app.
Yeah.
So it could be different and it could be separate, and I get that, and that makes sense to me, because as a designer and as a creative and an illustrator, I find it, I put all of my creativity into these illustrations, and obviously now I'm experimenting with like 3D art and stuff like that. I'm like, how can I make this move without learning how to animate? So this is going on a tangent, but I thought I would explain it from the start to the finish of how this happened, because otherwise it does not make any fucking sense. So I've been feeling like this for a while, and if you don't know, Sophie, along with my very good friend Laura, I have another very good friend called Sophie Fabstract. She's been on the podcast, you know her. Yeah, so she once a month comes, because she works remotely. So she's a graphic designer. We all know this. She's explained this, but she goes into work one day a week, and one day a month for the past couple of months she's been coming to the studio. She's been working from my studio. It just makes us be able to see each other, because it's hard when you're I know might sound a bit condescending, but when you're an adult, it's hard to meet up with your friends. So 6 weeks ago she came to the studio, and she was like, what's going on with you? What's up? And I was like, I don't really know what's happening. Like, finances aren't great. Like, I've got some savings, but I would like to save more. The business is kind of taking a lot out because I'm investing all the money. I wasn't really taking any of the money for myself. I was investing it into the business. But then I've been really, like I said, I've been asking myself why, I'm really assessing what I want to do with my life and everything. When I like make goals, none of them are business related, when I think that they should be. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, my goals are to like have a family and buy a house and like get married, and that's what my goals are. That's what means a lot to me. But then when I was like really happy with these goals that I've made, and then when I took a step back, I was like, why have I not got any like business goals on here? And I'm like, because that's not my priority right now. My priority, it's my priority is not to have a 6-figure business. It's to have a family, and I feel a little bit guilty for feeling like that. Because I feel like I've been on this certain side of Instagram for so long that's like hustle boss bitch, that like I feel like a fraud for like feeling like, oh, I want to have a family, and I want to.
And that is so valid.
And if I'm being completely honest and transparent with everybody, I think it's since my PCOS diagnosis. I think it's put everything into perspective.
Yeah, because of infertility and stuff.
Exactly. And obviously I don't know about that, and I won't know until I try. And I'm not ready to try for kids yet. I want to kind of live my life. But as I've explained, me and Max live with his mum still. We don't really have, we haven't got our own house yet. And I would like to experience life as like me, Max and Luna before we have a kid.
Yeah.
And things need to start rolling, and I can't, because this is it as well. I can't expect Max to pay for everything for me. I can't go to Max and be like, Max, I want to buy a house, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. I want to have a family, I want to do this. But you have to pay for it because I can't afford for it. Like, that is so unfair to put that pressure on him. And if I had that pressure on me, I would be like, fucking hell, this is like the pressure of the world on my shoulders. So I had this conversation with him, and I was like, this is how I feel. And he was like, right. So then I was telling Sophie all this, and she was like, right, well, you need money then, don't you? I was like, well, yeah, well, that's the end of it. She was like, maybe it's time for you to either A, put everything you've got into your freelance business, or B, maybe it's time to start looking for like a job. And at first I was like, oh, I don't want to go back into retail. She's like, no, like a design job. Like, you still be creative. If I'm being honest, Sophie will tell you as well. As soon as she said job, I was like, no, I don't want that. Like, no, like that'll mean that I'm a failure and I've completely failed at freelancing and I'm not a failure. Like you said, I'm determined. I'm not a failure. Yeah. I don't fail at things. I'm one of those people where if I try something and I'm not good at it for the first time that I try, I'm just like, no, I'm not thinking, because I pick things up very easily. As soon as you've shown me how to do something a few times, that's it, I've got it. Yeah. And when that doesn't happen, I go into full-on freak-out mode, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never doing this ever again because I'm not good at it. I know, all the therapists listening are like, do you need therapy? I'm like, yes, I know, I can't afford it. So
but soon you will be able to. Sneak peek.
No, I can't wait. So Sophie went home. She was like, just think about it, Roxanne. Just think about it. Sophie went home. And then she was due to come back 2 weeks later, because usually it's like the same time every month, whatever. But she was like, no, well, I'll come back in 2 weeks because that's when I've got it free. So that's why it was 6 weeks ago we had the initial conversation.
See, I think you came upstairs to me as well. And 6 weeks ago, and you were like, Laura, I think I need to get a job. And I was like, oh.
He was like, all right, literally last week you were telling me how great being a freelancer is.
I was like, oh my God. And you were telling me like all about like finances and this and that. And I was like, whatever you do, it's going to be great.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love how you are with me. You're the friend that I need.
Do you know what? I need that friend. I need to be that for myself,
you
but
do
I'm
need
not.
To be, I know, you're not. You're your own worst enemy, you.
I am. But yeah, I remember you telling me, and I remember saying to you that day, you will do it.
I remember when I came up to you and I was like, oh, cause I was like, so Sophie's my friend who works in industry. Mm-hmm. So she's here on this shoulder being like, you need money, Roxanne, get a job. But you're 100% advocate for freelancing. So I needed to have a conversation with Laura. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're
not 100%.
No, not 100%.
I'm also skint.
I know, yeah, but you're like, oh my God, freelance is fucking sick. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to speak to Laura. Amazing. Blah, blah, whatever. So I come downstairs, me and then Sophie leave, and I sit at home and I'm like, right, what am I going to do now with this? Because it was playing on my mind, and I feel like, if I'm being completely honest with myself, it's been in the back of my brain since the new year.
Because do you know what I remember on Sophie's episode? I don't know whether you guys remember, but you were proper questioning her, like, what could I do to get a job like yours, like in the industry? What could I do? And I was I think she wants it.
Yeah, I think that was maybe like subconsciously, because I didn't realise that I was doing it.
See, I did think that when I was editing it, and I was like, oh, this is a bit juicy. So I forgot to ask you about it.
I know. So when I went home, I was like, right, do I actually want this? Is this just one of them things? So I made myself a pros and cons list. And
as
the
you
pros,
do,
and the
as
pros,
you do.
I know, as you do. And the pros, if you know that I love a list, I love a spreadsheet. Obviously, I did it in Google Sheets. So I had a pros and a cons list, and I had tick boxes next to them. And I was like, right, let's figure this out. So I was putting all my pros in, and there were loads and loads of pros for freelancing, and like a few for getting a job. And I was like, maybe I should just start, like, just carry on freelancing. And then when I went through, like, a few days later, and I was like, oh, what was it? One of the pros was like freedom to be able to work whenever I want. And I was like, yeah, that's great, but Roxanne, you work from when you get up to when you go to sleep. Where's the freedom, hon? Like, what do you mean? So it was like the pros for being a freelancer were very surface level pros. It was like being able to take Luna to work with me and being able to do this. And the pros of getting a job is sort my mental health out, pay for therapy, actually have money every month, not worry about all the outgoings, because my outgoings for business are a lot comparing to how much I bring in. Sometimes I just break even. And it's hard. And it's fucking difficult. And it's depressing because money, and I've grown up around people who don't really have much money to rub together. When I'm getting this money in, I'm like, oh my God, look at all this money I'm getting in. But I'm like, oh my God, look how much money is going out. Yeah. And I want to live a different life. The life I want to live, I cannot afford right now. So I don't want to live above my means. So I want the money to be able to live a comfortable life. If that am I making sense?
So you want to just be all right.
I want to be
all
right.
right.
I don't want to have a 6-figure business. I've realised this only recently. I don't want to have a 6-figure business because I don't want that kind of pressure. I don't want to have millions and millions and millions of pounds in the bank because I think with a lot of money like that comes a lot of responsibility as well. And
I think it changes people.
bitch, I'm not responsible. So no, I would fucking buy myself a yacht and I live in the centre of Manchester. Can we not? Do you know what I mean? So it's
The
like,
moment I get more money, I'm moving out of this flat. And I probably shouldn't.
But yeah, no. So I was like, maybe getting a job is a thing that I should do. So I was like, right, what I'll do is I'll sit on it and I'll wait for 2 weeks when Sophie comes back and we'll kind of like, we'll just have a chat again. She came back. She was like, what's the vibe? What are you thinking? And I was like, I think what I'm going to do is my confidence is super, super low when it comes to design. Ooh, here we go. I mean, it's not low, and I say it, so I know that I'm great at what I do.
Yeah.
But I'm my own boss. So I'm great at what I do to my standard, but I don't know how great these people who have been working in graphic design for years and years and years will think how great I am. Because on Instagram, I'm great. But in industry, am I? So I was like, right, I'm going to go for a junior level job, and I was speaking to Sophie. Sophie was like, right, usually there's a load of like junior level jobs that come out once just before people graduate in June. So it's like, so there'll be loads of like junior level jobs going there. However, I don't really think you're a junior, but if that's what you're comfortable going in at, that's fine. So junior, if you don't know, is an entry level. That's the lowest graphic design job that you can get.
Well, an intern's the lowest. Well, you're not going to go for an intern job, are you?
Because bitch, I need paying. So I was like, right, yeah. So blah blah blah. So I said to Sophie, I was like, right. So at this point, it was the end of March. I think it was the last week of March. I was like, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just naturally work on my portfolio. I'm going to get like a CV scratched up and together, maybe like a cover letter that I can kind of send to people, and I'll kind of do this slowly and I'll reassess in May. End of May, I'll reassess, and then by the end of May, once I've reassessed, I've already got my portfolio, I've already done these passion projects, I've got this CV ready, then I'll start applying maybe at end of May, so then when the jobs come out in June, I'm kind of already in the interview process of stuff.
Yeah. You've had the experience.
Exactly, and then maybe I might get a job in June, July, August. So this was the end, like I said, this was the end of March. I started doing passion projects, started getting a portfolio together, and then I thought, fuck it. After like maybe a week and a half, I was like, right, okay, I've got a portfolio here, might just start fucking applying for jobs.
Why the hell not?
Not?
So this was around the time that we filmed last week's episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I applied for a graphic designer role on the 30th of March, and a few days after I got a phone call asking for a chat.
Yeah.
In the job description, it was a fully remote role. It said fully remote, blah, 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 going on. And then when I phoned to her, she wanted me in the office 5 days a week. And I was like, that's not possible. I get a message from them a week later, maybe a little bit sooner than that, saying, hi, they absolutely loved you. However, it's a non-negotiable for them. They need you in 5 days a week. And I was like, that's not for me.
Though? That's so
she
weird.
says it's probably because they copied and pasted a previous listing
from
so
during COVID.
They've not chipped it, like not ticked remote off. I applied for that, and then they got the email back. I was gutted because it was a t-shirt designer, like an apparel designer role. So I was like, this is like super creative. This is a creative graphic design role. Obviously, weren't meant to be. So I was like, oh, it's fine. I've applied for loads of jobs. And Sophie was telling me, she was like, don't say no to yourself, let them say no to you. So then I started applying for...
Oh, she said that on the podcast.
So I started applying for midweight roles and senior roles. Obviously not going to get the senior roles, but I thought, fuck
why
it.
the hell not?
They might just look at my CV and go, this is some ballsy bitch applying for this role.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then I got a message off Sophie. Sophie showed my portfolio to some of her co-workers, and they was like, she's not a junior graphic designer. She's a middleweight. She's not entry level. Like, you can tell she's built up this amazing brand, and she's done this. And her designs are incredible. Like, this is great. And I was like, oh my God. And then I messaged Sophie. I was like, so they're going to give me a job or what? And then for a minute, like, I was like, Sophie, like, please, like make them, like, hire me. I can work with you then. So she was like, right, well, do you want to kind of do, like, a portfolio review with you? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So then that kind of gave me the confidence to be like, oh, maybe I should be applying for middleweight roles and I'll just try it. So I was getting, I wasn't going to say, so when I was thinking about what I was going to say on this podcast, I was like, oh, I'm not going to tell them that, like, I got denied from jobs because then I'm like really embarrassed by it.
Oh.
But I am, like, obviously it's a massive, like, fuck it, it's humble. Job search, now, if you're looking at job searching, especially from freelance, it is a humbling experience.
I've been denied as well, and it's not nice.
It's not nice.
I mean, it was my fault. I got a design interview at a uni, and everyone was looking for them, and nobody was getting any interviews, and I finally got an interview. And I turned up an hour and a half late because I got on the wrong bus, and I turned up crying. So I didn't get it.
I mean, of course.
That was the most humbling experience of my life.
Oh my God. So how it kind of came about was I was getting these full-on, not even an interview, just complete rejection, like automatic rejections from these companies.
Yeah, but remember, there'll be a lot of people that are applying.
So many. And when you look on certain job sites, it tells you how many people have applied, and some of these were like... So I was getting feedback and I was being denied from junior level roles because I was overqualified, and I was being denied from middleweight roles because I was qualified enough in the design side, but I had no agency experience. So this put me in quite a predicament.
It did.
And also, because I am a graphic designer and illustrator, I wasn't graphic design enough for the jobs that I was applying for.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So I was getting denied. I had a few more phone calls. Nothing really came about those. Either they wanted me in the office 3-4 days a week and I can't do that, or I didn't really get a vibe, or what they were saying was something I didn't really want to do. And then I had this phone call with this guy. So I had this conversation and it was great, and we really got on, and it was like, yeah, like, this is great, like, what are your salary expectations? He was like, but then he was like, you do realise that this is a graphic design role, like a junior one? And I was like, yeah. I said, I know that I'm more middleweight. I says, however, because I don't have the agency side, I'm finding it very difficult to get a middleweight job. I said, hopefully, my ideal position would be to be in a junior role, but with a little bit of a higher salary, because you are getting that experience from me. And I do think this is what I'm not going to say it here because I'm not comfortable with that yet, but I had in mind how much I was wanting to work for. If I get over it, amazing. If I get under it, but it's the perfect job, I'm more likely to be like, right, okay, this is a great job. It's a little bit less than what I wanted to work for, but it's fine. And he was like, right, what we'll do is we'll book in the second. So this was just a very, like, casual conversation that you have before, because usually what you'll find is you'll get a phone call. If you've never applied for a job before, you'll get a phone call. You'll both get a vibe, and then if you kind of pass that one, then they'll give you a proper interview.
Yeah.
And usually what happens after that interview, you will be given a brief and you will do design work to show, to be like, right, this, so then they'll kind of pick from that. That's the usually how it goes.
Yeah, because they want to see if you're the right fit.
They want to see if you're the right fit and if you can
would
actually do the work.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I think I told you, I was like, oh my God, this, yeah, I've just had an interview, this is amazing, I'm dead excited. I think I put it on my story actually. And then, so we were supposed to have the interview the Thursday after. And on the Wednesday, I got a message saying, hi, unfortunately, my boss has told me that we are looking for a junior designer, like somebody like very early on in the graphic design career. So then I said to him, that's amazing. I was like, I am potentially willing to go down to the bottom end of like the middle ground of your bracket of what you wanted to pay, if there is an opportunity of me in a couple of years, maybe 1 or 2 years, being able to be promoted and then work up my salary. Cause I was like, I don't want to leave this, because so he sent me this being like, I'm really sorry about that, but I didn't want to leave it open. I didn't want to close the door myself. I wanted him to fully close the door for me.
Yeah.
So I sent him this that was very open-ended, that was like, I would love to work for your company, like, but it was a very, very good email. So it weren't begging, but it was more like, here's me kind of giving you an arm, giving you a reach. I'm giving you a little bit of like reaching out to you.
You haven't told me this, so I'm interested.
I know. Well, so prepping for this podcast, me and Laura keep on going to try and tell each other things. We're like, no, we'll save it for the podcast.
Yeah, honestly, it took us ages to set up, and I'd go, I'll tell you later.
So this is actually a blind reaction to half of this. So then he got back to me and he was like, essentially was like, we can't promise that you will get a promotion within these years, within X amount of time.
Well,
it's something that we can't promise right now. Because obviously, as a business, you can't hire someone in the premise of them being promoted, and then imagine if I go and I'm shit and they've already promised me a promotion.
That's true.
So it was like, it's nothing that we can promise right now. He has explicitly said that he's looking for someone very early on. He's looking for someone straight out of uni,
and they can mold into
and obviously, so if I'm there for 2 years and I don't get a promotion, I'm going to leave. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have to then look for another graphic designer. But I think, like most people who are looking for junior graphic designers, they are looking for someone who can stay there for quite a while. And obviously, as a business, it's better if you put time and effort into someone and they stay in the company, whatever. So that was that, and I was crying. So that was Wednesday. I got told this. Had a massive meltdown to Max on Wednesday. I was like, oh my God, nobody wants me. Like, I was crying, like full on crying. And I was like, do you know, like when you're having like, I wouldn't necessarily, so I differentiate my like panic attacks. So when I say I'm having a panic attack is when I can't breathe, when I have my like full on like
a physical thing,
like a physical like convulsion, like I can't breathe. But this wasn't necessarily a panic attack. It was more of like a fucking crisis, because I was just crying and being like, but my breathing was like I weren't having issues with breathing. It was more like, nobody wants me. I'm never going to find a job. I'm always going to be skin. I'm never going to have any money. Like you're going to leave me because I'm going to be taking all of your money, and I don't want you to leave me, but then also I'm going to hate myself. And Max was like, what the fuck do I do? Like, oh my God, bless him. It was like, Roxanne, it's going to be fine. You'll find something. And then Sophie was like, Roxanne, fucking just get a grip. You've only been looking for a job for 2 weeks. Like, come on. Like,
it's really easy to catastrophize these things.
It was the denial that I was getting. So that was the Wednesday. So the Wednesday night I applied for 2 jobs. One of them through LinkedIn. One of them I thought, fuck it. I saw it on LinkedIn. And I was like, no, I'm going to email them my CV. So I messaged them. I emailed them. I was like, hi, I've just seen your job application in LinkedIn. I thought I would email you my CV and my portfolio. Here's a cover letter. I really love your business. I love what it's about. Because I really like the website, because they had like illustrations of the staff on it. And I was like, oh, I love that.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I love that. And I noticed it was fully remote, so I was like, oh, fully remote, I never have to go to a studio, I would still work from the studio, but I would never have to go to work.
Yeah. So
didn't really think anything of it. The morning after, so the Thursday, I got a message. It's like, hi Roxanne, I see that you applied for this job. I just wondered if you're around for a chat. And I was like, yeah, so this was a director of the company. And I was like, yeah. I mean, put his number down. And instead of me messaging him my number and him telling me to ring me, I thought, no, I'm going to fucking do a power move and just ring him. Not give him any, like, fingers.
You rang him?
So I just rang him.
Amazing.
I just rang him. I was like, oh, yeah, you've just left a message on my website. It's like,
oh, wait, you left it on the website?
He left it on the website. He left it on the website. He didn't email me back. It was on the website. And do you know how like on you have like a chat box on your website? He left it in my chat box.
So basically, he'd seen your email, clicked on your website, and thought, "Fuck it, I'm not going back to her email. I'm just gonna write because I'm excited. I'm just gonna write it in her email."
So it was like, yeah, this is dead weird. This is dead random. Like, I never really do this. There's usually someone that deals with all the applications. It was like, but I was looking through the emails, I saw yours, and I was just absolutely intrigued. He was like, can I ask why you want a job? I was like, well, I kind of went into it. If I'm being honest with you, I'm thinking nothing to lose here. So I was like, if I'm being honest, I want stability. I want to buy a house. I want to do this and I want to do that. And he was like, yeah, fair enough. Completely understand that. He was like, but I've listened to your a few bits of your podcast, and that's fabulous. Like, I've been on your website and stuff like this. He was like, you're amazing. Like, this is fabulous. Like, I love what you're doing. So I was just bewildered as to why you actually wanted a job, because it looks like you're smashing it. I was like, it might look like I'm not smashing it. I says, but my client work is taking a bit of a nosedive at the minute. I'm not getting as much. I said, and I've realised what I need to do to make me happy. And he was like, love that. That's amazing. It was like, if I'm being honest with you, it was like, the job that you've applied for, I've already filled both the roles. I was like, right. I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. I was like, well, just like, essentially, I was like, well, yeah, just keep me in mind for anything in future. Like, I don't really know why you're ringing me if you fucking like filled the roles. But it was dead nice to have a chat with. And then it was like someone, I think he was like, so the lady who usually deals with the application, she was like, she'll ring you in a bit, and I think I would like to have like a Zoom chat with you just to talk about just some more stuff. I was like, all right, fair enough. I got a phone call off her a few hours later. And she was like, what time do you want to have a chat with this guy? I was like, whenever, should we say 2? So he was like, yeah, 2 o'clock works well. So 2 o'clock I got on, and I was chatting to him on Zoom, and he was talking to me about these projects that he wanted to do, and he kind of was looking for someone like maybe creative. He was like, I don't have a job opening for you, but I can't miss up on you.
That's so good.
So essentially, he made a role for me. He was like, if you would like to work for us, this is the role that I would give you. These are the skills that I would need you to have, which you can have, which you do have. You will still be doing some like graphic designing stuff. He was like, but I have some projects in mind that I think you would be a perfect fit for. I was like, right, okay. And I said to him, I was like, this is just so weird. I was like, I've been caught off guard. Like, I weren't expecting an interview. And he was like, no, this isn't an interview. This is just having a chat and seeing where it goes.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this vibe, and I really like the conversation that I was having with him was great, and I felt really open. I felt very safe, and I felt like I could say what I wanted to say. It didn't feel like an interview where I felt like I had to like sit up straight and like be nice and speak with my phone voice.
That's what you want then, because that's the reflection of what it'll be like when you work together.
Yeah, especially because as well, I've noticed when I'm on the phone to people who I'm applying for jobs for, and they are from down south, I found that I speak different.
Oh, is he northern?
I enunciate things. No, so he's from down south. He's from London, but I found that I was being like proper northern. And he was like, I think one of the things he was like, right, so it was like, first off, I just want to know you. He was like, obviously I've read your portfolio and your CV, and I've read your cover letter. He was like, tell me about Roxanne. I was like, right, I'm a northern girl through and through. I'm from Manchester. I love it. I'm just like, this is great. Like, I love making. And so the thing is as well, that's put people off, because I don't have a degree in graphic design. I have a degree in contemporary art and like in illustration, kind of, not really. So I was like, yeah, so this is, I was like, I'm actually like a painter. I was like, I'm actually like a painter. And I used to do like contemporary art, and I used to make films and stuff. And there was like narrations on what's going on in the world. And it was just like trying to like very like contemporary and installations. And I used to make sculptures and do this and do that. And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And I was like, but now, like, I love it. Like, I love graphic design, and I love digital work, and I love illustration, and I love this, and I'm not going to toot me on flute. I am really good at it, and I really love my job, and I love it, but I need stability, and I need this. And he was like, all right. He was like, I think we can work with this. I was like, okay, amazing, fabulous. And then when we came off, he was like, yeah, so this is the job. Like, this is what I was like. It was like, when if we want to move forward, when could you start? And I was like,
ASAP.
Yeah, I was like, whenever. I said, I have a few loose ends to tie up, because I have a few like client stuff that I need to kind of send people emails to be like, I am looking for jobs, because I haven't done, because everything's gone so quick. Literally 6 weeks ago, I was telling Sophie,
it's crazy.
No, I don't want a job.
And now
this has happened. But like I said before, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I have been thinking that I've needed to get a job for quite a while. So yeah, so I kind of came off. So this was Thursday. Which is funny. So actually the meeting that I had with him was actually supposed to be the same time as well. I was supposed to have me interview with the first job. No, I said that.
This is the thing, right?
So
this is what I'm saying to you on FaceTime.
Wild.
Everything is meant to be. Like, all those jobs that you didn't get and all of these, like, what's the word? Rejections. Yeah. All these rejections led you to this role. Like, imagine if you got the first one. And I know what that job was, and I know what this job is, and this job is so much more you, and you're going to be so much happier there. You probably would have taken it, and you would never have got this opportunity.
No, because the thing is with this job is 100% remote.
Yeah, as well.
I can go down to London when I want to, and which I will. I think that'll be something really good for so. Not a tangent, kind of a tangent. I've kind of touched on this a few times, but my anxiety surrounding going places is really bad at the minute, and it has been deteriorating quite a lot to the point where I cannot walk to the end of my street without being like sweating and panicking. So that's something that I am working on. I'm trying to build up. So I think this will be really good because it will make me like actually have to travel places. Like,
I think it will be good.
And it will be good.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's also made me feel really wanted. So yes, and at the end of that,
you've got your validation that you need.
I've got the validation, I know. And I shouldn't need it.
No, but sometimes you do after rejections. Yeah. That's only human, do you know what I mean?
I know. Oh, also, I've chopped all my fucking hair off.
You'll know it on the video.
I've needed a fucking change for ages, so I
think
everything's
changing.
Everything's changing. I thought I need a new me, so I've chopped all my hair off, and I love it, and I don't know if I will ever go back long because this feels like me so much more.
I remember you were like, you were saying ages ago, I want to cut my hair, but my boobs are too big, and I was like, who cares? I was like, just do it, and it suits you. Who cares about your boobs?
So after I came off that call, I didn't really know what was happening. I spoke to Max's mum about it, and I told her like all the ins and outs, and I was like, but I don't want to get my hopes up because
just in case
there's nothing set in stone yet. Like, this seems too good to be true. This job role seems way too good to be true, and it seems whatever. So I was like, I don't want to get my hopes up. Don't want to get my hopes up. This is great. And then I also, if I'm being honest, I had to sit down and be like, is this job right for me? Am I just getting excited about this job because I want a job, or am I getting excited about this job because
it's for you? It's good for you. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, if this job's legit, I will try it out. It's fine. So something that he said was, so he wants to test to make sure I'm happy there and for me to be happy there. So I'm on a 6-month contract to be like, and then we'll assess it maybe after like 4 or 5 months to see, which I like because it doesn't commit me to have to like stay there for a long period of time, so I can try it out and see if working for somebody else is for me. See where I'm at.
I remember when you came upstairs to me that day, and I was saying to you like, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. So what? And at least you've tried it. And if it is for you, then oh my God. Amazing.
So I was like, I'm not getting my hopes up about anything. And then the contract and my job offer came through.
And he's ordered her a laptop.
I know. And I'm getting a new work laptop for Yasmin. I was like, I would love to get a new laptop for work, just so that I can keep everything separate then.
Yeah.
So we don't get
work and home separate. Just how we like it.
I know, yeah. I think I'm going to get a nice different case for those. So when I open it, I know what I'm working on.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe. I start in a few weeks, in a week and a bit. I'm obviously a little bit nervous because it's something new and I get quite anxious about things. But I'm so excited. And I think also it'll be nice to have a steady income and
get a house.
Potentially. Well, yeah, I think this is it. This will now get the ball rolling.
Like you were saying,
to be like, to see if this is for me. Because, I won't be freelance anymore. But the thing is that he said, he was like, you're free to do freelance on the side, which I still will. I'll still, when I message my recurring clients, I'll be like, hi, I've got a job. But I'm still open because I can still work evenings because the hours aren't too late. Because obviously it's like a 9-to-5 job, maybe a little bit extra. But it is great, and I'm excited to have money in my bank account and not have it all to be spent on business. So I've actually gone through and cancelled loads of subscriptions that I didn't even realise I was fucking subscribed to.
I did that yesterday when I saw my energy bill. I thought, I'm unsubscribing to these things.
But yeah, so that's the vibe. That's what's happening. I'm so excited. I'm dead nervous, obviously, but I will keep you all updated as to how it is and how much I can talk about. Obviously, I won't be able to speak about what I am doing at work, but I think it'd be nice to chat about things.
I was just gonna say, as we're filming this, she got the contract through last night, so I was like, yeah,
because I wanted to film this update with an actual
because you didn't want to do it without signing the contract.
No, I didn't want to do it.
That would make sense.
Without getting the contract through. I didn't want to be like, oh my god, yeah, I've got a job, but then they ghost me and they never send me the contract. Like, how fucking embarrassing would I feel then?
Oh no.
But no, they've sent me the contract. I'm signing it tonight and sending it back off, and then I start in a week and a bit.
Oh my god!
I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm so excited. I'm fucking so nervous.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I hope they like me.
They will.
It's actually me and another girl starting on the same day, which I think will help because obviously it's fully remote, so we don't have to go anywhere and see anybody for the first day.
Oh my god! It's the worst when you walk into an office and you're the new one. Everyone's looking at you and you're like, hi.
No, I'll be on.
And you're eating your lunch. And you're eating your lunch and everyone's talking about what they were talking about yesterday. And I'm like, I don't know anyone.
Oh, I know.
Like, you won't have any of that.
I won't have any of that, no. Yeah. Because obviously Luna will be there, my little emotional support doggo. But yeah, no. It is great. And I am chuffed. I feel like how I feel right now about getting this job has solidified my feelings of how much I've needed a job.
Yeah.
And like Laura said, I'm one of those people where if I put my mind to something, if genuinely my whole heart and soul is into it, I will do it.
It's so amazing how quickly you switched for your whole heart and soul to be in it. Do you know what I mean? For you to be crying when you got a rejection.
Yeah.
And like a few weeks before, you're like, I don't even want it.
That's it. And I think, like I said before, I think it has been since like my PCOS diagnosis of being like, oh, so I have things to think about my life, and then I think that's kind of put everything into perspective. I think it's there is power in realising what's bringing you joy and what's bringing you isn't, and making change, and change is scary and change is so daunting. But I know that now I'm doing something for me and doing something that I know that will make me happier.
That's all that matters. That is all that matters. And that might change, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think throughout our lives,
we have to be able to pivot. And
yeah,
we have to be able
our wants
to
and needs change all the time due to environment, due to mental health, just us growing.
Because I didn't realise how much it was affecting my mental health until I feel a lot better now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like almost... So last night, when I got the contract through last night, I had a full-on cry. Because I felt like
a relief.
I didn't realise, but I think over the past maybe like 6 months to a year, I've been tense. And I felt like a flood of calmness and light at the end of the tunnel, which then also again solidified how. But the thing is, though, I did want to touch on this. A big part in me not wanting to get a job is the feeling.
Did you hear that?
Laura just burped. Is the feeling of failure and scared that people who are freelancers who do listen to the podcast and do keep up to date with me Instagram will see me as a failure because I'm not freelancing anymore, because it weren't bringing me in enough money. Well, enough money is what I wanted it to bring me in, and I lost a part of it with. I know it's like one of the things that Instagram changing the algorithm and like, oh, your work's not great. It's shit if you're not getting engagement. But it's one of those things where number one, stop giving a fucking shit about what other people think of you. And
I know it's hard to do.
If Regina came at me with 3 wishes, one of my wishes would be stop giving a shit about what people think of me, because why do I care about what fucking
user
12345 from like fucking Scotland gives a shit about me? Like, why should I care that user 1234 thinks I'm a failure?
It seems so easy though.
But
when you look at it like that, it seems so simple, but It's not. Of course we care. We just do.
We do care, and it is daunting because I have
nature.
people message me saying, "Oh my god, like you inspired me to like start my own business. You inspired me to go freelance. You inspired me to go this," and then that makes me then go, "Oh, but now I'm not an inspiration to these people."
You
like, I need to
are.
kind of also get my head out of my own ass and be like, there is a brighter world other than me and my business. And like I said before, I realised I don't want a 6-figure business. I don't think right now working for myself is something that I can maintain. If I'm being honest, being a freelance is the end goal. That's something that I want to be the end goal. That's something that I want to do. I want to maybe do an amazing career in thingy, and then sometimes something happens. Maybe it might be late 30s, something happens and I go fully freelance. But yeah, I did want to preface this. Like we've said, we will still be doing the podcast. It'll be once a fortnight. I still will be posting to Instagram. That's not going to stop. It'll bring me more joy doing it because I'm not doing it for a career, like for my living.
You've not got the pressure.
I've not got the pressure of me doing it for a living anymore. I'll be doing it, and I think that means that I will have more time to put more effort into my content as well, because I don't feel like I have to post every single day. I'll be posting when I've got something that I have to show you that I'm proud of. And yeah.
You might even end up sharing what you do in your job. Yeah, when whatever it is you work on is live, you can be like, I've done this in my job. Like,
yeah, I think that's it. I think that'll be fun. I think this is a new side of it. And I think as well, it is, like I said before, if you are listening to this and you're like, oh, I think freelance maybe isn't bringing everything, just try an interview. Because honestly,
you're making me think now.
Honestly, like, after once my first denial, I applied for a senior role and got denied, and I was actually upset. It made me realise, oh yeah, maybe I do want a job because I won't be as upset as I am.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get a denial and you're like, rah, fuck it, just be like, oh, maybe you don't want.
Do you know what that really reminded me of? You watched Friends, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know when Rachel thinks she's pregnant and Phoebe looks at the test and says it's negative and she's upset, and then she goes, actually it's positive, but now I know how you really feel, and she's like, that's a risky little game.
It's a risky little game.
It made me think of that.
I know. I'm happy. I don't know if you can see it, but it might be the 3 thimbles of red wine, or it might be the fact that I'm genuinely just ecstatic. I'm just excited to see where my life goes, and it is what it is. And I think it's also made me more open to change and be like, this is great right now. In 6 months' time, I might fucking hate it. And I might come back to freelance. But it is what it is. And we'll find out and we'll see.
Exactly.
But, right, okay. Roxanne, segment over. Jing, 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 segment over. All right, so, Laura.
So I feel quite similar to you as well, where I feel really like everything's coming together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was saying to George yesterday, I was like, oh my God, like, I just feel like everything's happening right now. Like, obviously, I said earlier, I've got 50p in my account. It's all right, because I've got a market tomorrow. So I'm hoping I'm going to make some money.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I know, I rang my mum. I was like, Mum, I need your help. I need you to pick me up from the market. I can't afford a taxi unless I get cash payments tomorrow. And then I could afford a taxi, but I was like, if I can't, I'll be stranded. Can you pick me up? And she was like, yeah, it's fine. Oh. I know. So basically,
she's really lovely, your mother. I know. To say that.
She is nice. She's a nice lady. Hope she's listening. I'm feeling head over heels in love with my life right now because I've been to the most romantic country in the world. I've been to Italy.
I know.
And I don't know how my jeans still fit. I genuinely don't. Like, we had so much good food. Honestly, I can't tell you. It was amazing. So
the pictures look incredible, and
I've got so many.
There's so many times I've wanted to like chat to you about it, but I know that we were filming this, so we've not been able to have these conversations.
So first stop was Venice, the most romantic place I've ever been. Literally, I was like, George, what are we gonna do here? Like, this is just every single corner that we turned, photo opportunity. Oh my God, I need to take a picture of this so I can remember it forever. Take a picture here, take a picture. I was like, this is insane. Like, literally, you would walk and you'd be like, basically, they say, get lost in Venice. So you go, and there's so many, like, tiny little narrow streets, and then, like, a little, I know it's not a canal because it's the ocean, but let's just call it a canal because I don't know what to call it. like a little tunnel with water in it.
Yeah.
No. With gondolas.
Right, so if you don't get gondolas, obviously you won't. So me and Laura was walking, and she was just before she went to Italy, and she was telling me about it. She was like, "Yeah, and then we'll go on gondolas." And I was like, "What the fuck's a gondola?" I was like, "Do you mean a gondola?" She was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Well, I don't know why I thought that was how you say it, but that's what I thought anyway. And it was just amazing, and everyone around you was like, like, it was just so nice, so nice, and the weather was really good. We got there, so we flew there, and then we got out, and we were like, oh, we need to get this bus, and then this, that, and then a boat over, and then this guy went, oh, shuttle to Venice, and we were like, okay, so we just got on this shuttle, and then when we got into Venice, I can't tell you the rain. Torrential, like literally, like we were like, what are we gonna do here? We were like about to get off the coach, and I was like, right, the thing that we need to do is we need to find the first restaurant, because we hadn't eaten. I was like, we're gonna run in and get some pizza.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Of course.
We ran and we got some pizza, and it was amazing.
Was it Venice that they went to on the Lizzie McGuire movie? Was it Venice that they went to? Because whenever I think
Rome,
of it was Rome. Whenever I think of Italy, I always think of Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
When at the end the girl eats like meatballs and pasta, and it's like this really like feminist movie. It's just like, yeah, I don't care, and starts eating.
What?
I
don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like the popular girl who's like dead, like prim and proper about things, and then she like eats this meatball and pasta, and she gets a
it's
bit
everywhere.
of, like, sauce everywhere. And she's like, oh, I'm enjoying it. I just find it dead funny. But yeah, no, carry on.
Yeah, it was so good. So actually, before we went to Italy, we were watching. Have you watched Somebody Feed Phil?
No.
You've got to watch it. It's just this. He goes around different cities in the world and eats, and his face just lights up a room. Like, he's just such a lovely, like, happy person. So he went to a few places. He did one in Venice, and he went to a few places, and we're like, we need to find these certain places. So we went to one, and each area of Italy has its own specific, like, dish, if that makes sense. So in Venice, they have these things called cicchettis. And I hope that I'm saying this right, because I don't remember things. And as you know from the gondola, I don't say things right. But
to be fair, you might actually be right in the pronunciation of that.
I don't think I was. I went and it wasn't.
Okay.
So, well, obviously they say it completely different. But it's like a slice of a baguette, like a little slice of a baguette with different toppings on. So that's what you get in Italy. Like, that's what you get in Venice. So
where is it, bruschetta?
No, because it's not toasted.
Right, okay.
It's like fresh bread, like freshly cooked bread. So we seen this place on Somebody Feed Phil, and it was this older lady, and she'd been doing it for like 50 years, and he was like, this is insane. So we went, and I don't know whether it's because Somebody Feed Phil, because there was another place we tried to go to, and they were like, it was too busy because of Somebody Feed Phil. So we went, and it was so busy, and basically it was like, you stand there and you try and get in, and then you like, because obviously I didn't understand the sign, so we were like, we'll have this one, we'll have this one, we'll have this one, this one. Amazing. There was one that was fish. It was like fish in like a cream cheese sauce that was like blended together. I don't know what fish it was, but it was so good. We went back and got some more of that specific flavour. It was insane. And there was one which was tuna that had cacao on top, and I remember that from the programme. And he was like, oh, it really works. So we got that, and it was really good. Tuna with cacao, like, sprinkled on top.
I fucking love food. I love food so much.
Honestly, if you love food, go to Italy. Insane. And obviously I've never been to Italy before. I've never had real pasta before, like, from Italy. But I was very, very happy with how everything turned out.
Does it make you feel shit when you get pasta from here now? Is it just not the same?
It's not. The pasta was just so fresh. Like, I can't explain it. It was like so thick, and like you could tell they'd made it like that day or something. It was just amazing. It was just so beautiful. And then we went to Rome 3 days later, had the best pasta I've ever had in my life. So one of George's friends, he's Italian, and he was telling us, he was like, oh, Rome is known for 3 dishes. So he was like, Rome's known for its pasta. So he said it's known for its carbonara. So we got a carbonara. It's known, I don't know the name of it. This is what he said to me before we went in the restaurant. He texted me, he said, amatriciana. The one in the middle. Amatriciana. And basically, it was like, sorry, you can't have it because there's a bit of meat in it. It's like a tomato based.
Well, that's what they said to you, and I was like, but you
No.
It's
it's like spaghetti with little bits of like prosciutto or like bacon bits.
Yeah.
And it's like tomato based, and normally I'm a creamy based person, so I was really excited about the carbonara. George had the carbonara, I had this. Halfway through, swapped, and I was gutted. It was the best thing I've ever eaten. Actually, yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god, that seemed like you had like a really like life conundrum there.
Because I'm thinking, there's loads of things that were good, but I took like a little tiny video of absolutely everything that we ate in Italy, and I'm going to do like a big TikTok. So stay tuned,
Have you got
guys.
a picture of this?
Yeah, I will have it.
Yeah.
I'll have a picture. Hold on, let me just type in food.
I have missed you.
I've missed you too.
I know. We went from spending every day together
I know.
to then not wanting to talk because we didn't want to ruin it for the podcast.
I know. And also, like, next week, I'm not even going to be in the studio. I don't know, but this is what we had. And it was insane, like, and then there's the carbonara, but I preferred this. It was so good. And then we had focaccia. And, you know, focaccia is different in every area of Italy. So we didn't actually have it in Venice, but we had it in Rome and we had it in Matera, which is where we went to next.
Yeah.
And they were completely different. Both very nice, though. Do you know what I love about the holiday most, though? It was just really...
Fucking Mando. Just
Mando.
carry on. I don't think they care. If you hear anything in the background, it's Laura's cat, Mando.
I know,
It's
he's
fine.
annoying me, but I've just missed him so much. So while I was in Italy, we were there for 11 nights. So he stayed over at my friend Nora's house.
Hi, Nora. I know you're listening.
Yeah, I know. She's like the biggest fan. She always sends me a picture every week. She's like, oh, look at what I'm watching on my TV. And I'm like, oh, hi. I'll give him a little stroke, maybe. He'll chill, wind him down. Yeah, it was emotional leaving him, but what was I going to say then? What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the best thing about it was how chill it was. Like, me and George, we didn't have like any itineraries. We didn't have any specific things we wanted to do. We were just like, let's just go out and just wander and just do it. And it was so easy, and I feel like it's so easy to get like lost in life, especially because like I'm a stress head sometimes, so I get very like lost in like what in life, and I think sometimes you can do that in a relationship, and I think me and George had about realising it, and like when we were away, it's like honeymoon again, honeymoon phase, and it was just so lovely, and like it was so good, and like
You are glowing.
I was ready to
You
come
look
home.
refreshed.
Thanks so much. I am refreshed. And like, even though we were up and about every day, like we made sure that we didn't set alarms. We woke up when we wanted to wake up. Like there was days where we didn't leave until 11 o'clock, like 11:30. Yeah. And like when you're like in a sightseeing holiday, you don't really want to do that, but we did. Oh my God, there was one day, you see, I told you now, bird pooed on my hand.
Oh, yeah.
And George was like, right, Laura, it's 11:30. This is quite late. I do just want a coffee now. So I was like, right, I'll get ready quick. And I did get ready quick. And as soon as we stepped out onto the square, I was like, George. I felt the pressure on my head. And I said, George, I know it. This is bird poo. I said, there's a bird pooed on my head. He said, yeah. He said, let me find you a toilet. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to go to a toilet and put a tissue in my hair and just get it out. I said, I need to wash it. He said, what? And I was laughing. I was like, this is hilarious. And he was like,
I just need my fucking coffee.
he was like dead serious. And I was like, how is this happening to me? And I'm finding it, I'm pissing myself. And he was like, Laura, I just really need a coffee. And we've only just left. And like, we got the day ahead. And I was like, right, you have your coffee, get me a croissant, and I'll meet you back here. And I washed like the first bit of my hair in the shower like this. And came back out, put the Euro Millions on. Didn't win. I bought 2 tickets, checked it on the Friday. Obviously, you know, I didn't win because I got 50p, not 50 million.
Sounds about that.
Yeah, it's all right. So I'm still waiting for my luck to arrive.
Yeah.
And I know that it will. I just don't know when. But I'm still waiting for my luck to arrive. But yeah, so that was that. I just basically had a really nice time. And I was ready to come home when I was ready to come home. But after Rome, we met up with George's friend Antonio, who lives in Italy, with his lovely girlfriend Rosella, and we just like really clicked. And
I love that.
I know, and like we've realised.
I like that name.
I know, Rosella. I was thinking, oh my god, if I have a baby girl.
I was about to say I might add that to my name.
Yeah,
How do you spell
it's
it?
so nice. Ross. I can't spell out loud. Ella. We had like an Easter meal like with their family, and they didn't speak any English, so we were like translating. I was going on like Google Translate, and we realised
Does Rosella speak English?
She does. Yeah, she didn't understand George at first because he's so manx. She's like, I don't understand anything he's saying. I was like, I'll translate.
Translate.
But it was just incredible, and like me and George have said, now we're going to go back next year and we're going to be fluent in Italian. Duolingo, like Rosella was even saying she learned English by watching English TV shows with Italian subtitles on. So I was like, how about we watch Italian shows with English subtitles on and Duolingo? Let's just do it. Date night, Italian show, try and figure out what they're saying.
Yeah, I think for a while I wanted to learn Korean.
Oh.
And then because I watch quite a few like Korean influencers and like people who live in the UK who have Korean partners, or like they go to Korea quite a lot, and I really I would love to go to Korea. I would just like to learn the language, but it's like it's dead hard. But I've always wanted to like learn French or Italian or Spanish.
Did you have to learn it in school?
Yeah, Spanish and French in school, but it was just like,
surface
my
level.
name is Roxanne. I live in a house. My eyes are blue. I have a dog.
Yeah.
And that was it. It's very basic, but I would love to learn it, but it's one of them things where you have to want to learn the language.
See, we really want to learn it. We were like so obsessed, and I was just like, it was funny because like I was just saying the whole trip, everything in Italy is just so romantic. Like the buildings are romantic, and Rosella was like, and I was just like, they are, and I was like, your language is so romantic. Like
it's like anything, in it. It's like when obviously
different.
she lives there. She's like, what the fuck are you going on about? It's like when people come to Manchester. Well, no, because we are big advocates of Manchester. People who come to Manchester like, Manchester's so great, and we're like, yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes, it is. So that was a really bad
Manchester
analogy.
pride.
I love it.
But it is like they're used to living in Matera, and we saw the grave that they built for or where they built the grave in the new James Bond movie. They filmed the new James Bond movie there, and like we looked at, they were like, this is where that was. This is where the motorcycle chase was. And we were like, oh,
have you watched the new James Bond?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the new James Bond.
We can't talk about this in case of spoilers because all I want to talk about is the end.
No, I know. Don't. We can't.
I'm not gonna.
No.
But yeah, it was so good, but they're just so used to it. Yeah. But it was just amazing, and I feel really refreshed. I didn't have to think about work once. I maybe checked my emails 3 times just in case there was anything urgent. And yeah, like even though, like I was saying before, even though we were walking around like every day, we were chill about it, and we didn't have the mental energy. Do you know what I mean? We weren't spending the mental energy that we were, just the physical one. And I feel like maybe that's why I can fit into my jeans still, because I was walking so much.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we've had this conversation before. Like, I've not been on holiday since being like, before being a teen, being like an actual child.
Oh, go to Italy first.
I know. And then there's like this, see, that to me sounds incredible, and I would love that, but the thought of getting on a plane terrifies me. And this is the thing with the new job as well. Sometimes I will have to like fly to go to like different places.
That's so exciting,
which is so exciting.
Once you do it once,
but that's it. But once I do it once,
all you need to do is get on the plane.
Yeah.
All you need to, you're not gonna not get on it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It'd be scary. I don't like flying though. I'm fine when we're in the air, but when we take off and when we land, awful. I need George to hold my hand, and because we've got so many flights. I just yawned in your face.
It's, as we're filming this, it's 10:15 at night. I know. And I've had a full day of Sophie's going on holiday, and we went holiday shopping for her today since this morning, and I'm just knackered. But
what did I say? I forgot.
About hating about flying.
Flying. Yeah, because we were with Ryanair, they wanted to charge us to sit together. So on like 3 out of 5 of the flights, I was not sat next to George, and I had to do this on my own hand. I was like, proper squeezing it. I was like this, closing my eyes, like saying my Hail Marys. I was like, then we got in the air, and I was like...
So what did you do then on the flight? Because you weren't sat together. What did you read? Or?
Oh, yeah, I read my book. So, next on the agenda. On Thursday.
Yeah. The day after you came back. Or was it the day you came back?
The day after I came back, I was diagnosed with inattentive ADHD.
Woo! I think we all knew that was coming there. But how does it feel to have a... This is what we wanted to chat about. How does it feel to have a diagnosis?
I feel so validated. I feel like finally things... This is the main thing. Obviously, I've had a nice rest. But I feel like finally things are going to be okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like I thought I was going to be waiting even longer than I have. And I'm really lucky to have been able to have, you know, this appointment. I was so nervous. I was sat there, right? I just want to preface this. It's known to the ADHD community and to anyone who's looked into what ADHD means, but most people with ADHD are always late or super, super early because they know they're going to be late, and it's horrible because they're always late. So I like set up an hour early and it wouldn't even let me go in. I was like, oh God, it's saying the wrong user credentials or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm too early. So then it let me do it half an hour before. So I sat there for half an hour, literally sweating, like my heart was going pitter patter. I was like, oh my God, this is the moment. Like, what if I say the wrong thing? Like, what if, like, I just didn't even know. I had so many things going around my head. I was so nervous. I didn't even eat anything because I just couldn't. So I was just sat there and I was like, oh my God. And it said 5 minutes before you'll be able to enter. And I clicked it and I was just sat on my phone, and then it got to like 31 minutes past and I was like, oh my God, I was supposed to click something. So I clicked on it and he went, oh, hi, Laura, I was going to ring you to see how you were. And I was like, oh my God, this is so ADHD. Like, I was here half an hour early and I was still late. Because George actually said that to me the day before. He was like, do you know what would be really good to show them that you have ADHD? Because obviously I wanted my diagnosis. He was like, turn up late. I said, no. I said, not for this. Yeah, it kind of felt like a little bit anticlimactic though, I was saying to Noah, because like I now have to wait up to 6 months to get my appointment with the nurses, which are going to prescribe me medication, because he said he thinks that it would be really beneficial for me to be on short release stimulants. I'm not going to go into like the whole thing, but he said
no. That was really maybe not, no. I mean, because we're probably going to do like a full episode on it anyway. So.
Yeah.
Because I'm dead interested in it.
Yeah. So he said like short release stimulants 3 times a day, and I was like, so that's like to start that off. And he said you'll know as soon as you take your stimulants that you have ADHD for sure, because they will work and your mind will be quiet and it'll be amazing.
Can I try when you get them?
No, I don't think that's the way it works, and it makes me nervous. But but I have to get like my heart checked first, because he said, have you got any heart things in the family? And I was like, well, my granddad's on warfarin, which is like blood thinning or something. And like every now and then, it could be like once every 3 months or once a year, I don't even know, a weird flutter.
Yeah.
A weird one. So it's like, I want to get that checked out first, because obviously it affects your heart.
I was about to say, maybe I should get mine checked then, because I get it, because I have heart problems in the family. Everybody has, quite a few people have pacemakers and stuff. So
but I think that's
maybe
anxiety.
Maybe we should go to the doctors.
Yeah.
Get that
but
checked
I think that
out.
is anxiety though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's anything to do with my heart. It was just a weird, a little blip. But like literally like once a year. So he's like, once you get that done, so I'm waiting for my GP to come back.
Sorry, I keep on yawning. I'm not bored.
It's okay.
I'm struggling to keep. It's that wine.
Do you want some more water?
No, it sends me to sleep. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm like staring at you going, Gaga, go.
So
tell me more.
Then this is what I mean. Like, it feels anticlimactic because now I feel like I wanted the instant thing of medication. I just want the medication now and I want to feel good. But like, I guess it's good that I've been diagnosed. Like, this is what I was waiting for.
Well, that's like you said, that's the validation that you wanted. You wanted that validation to be like, I'm not just self-diagnosing now, like actually.
I can actually say I have ADHD, because I'd be saying, because I knew it 100% that I had it. Like, I ticked every single box. But I'd be saying to people, oh yeah, because of my ADHD. And then I'd be thinking, like, it just felt shit to say it, because I was thinking, I might not even have it. Like, I was like 99.99999% sure.
Yeah. But because you didn't have that validation from a medical professional, you was like, oh,
Yeah.
this feels a bit icky.
Exactly. And like now I know, like now I know. And it does feel like really emotional because I've been dealing with this my whole life without even realising it, and he really validated me. He was like, yep. And he was talking to me about, like, it was so lovely. He was talking to me about my trauma and like how that could affect the way that I am, and like maybe I ended up going through what I went through because of my low self-esteem, because normally when you have ADHD, because you're so shit at like normal everyday life, if that makes sense, that's like not a really very nice way to put it and put myself down there, but because you're not very good at normal everyday life, your self-esteem is so low. So that might have been why I got myself into a bad situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like really validating me with that as well. And it was just amazing. And like, I can't believe it. It's kind of almost like I was waiting for it for so long. I'm like, has this actually happened? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, eh? So I rang my mum, because like when I rang my mum the first time when I realised that I had it, I was like, have you got ADHD? No, you haven't. And I was just like, oh, she's like, don't be silly. And I just thought, I don't want to hear this right now. Like, it's very invalidating. But I know that a lot of people who go to the parents and say that because they feel maybe like, oh God, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
They're always going to be like that. That's like 99.9% of people's parents will say that. So I rang her straight away. I was like, guess what? I got my ADHD. I have an intensive ADHD. And she was like, oh, well, you knew that already, didn't you? I'm so happy for you. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's just what I wanted to hear. And George even said to me, he pulled me to one side and he went, Laura, I just want to say to you, I'm really pleased for you. And I'm really sorry that at the beginning, literally for like one day, he was like, I'm really sorry that at the beginning, like, I didn't like, maybe I doubted you. I'm really sorry. And I was like, it's fine.
Oh, we all love George. We all love George here.
But yeah, that's that. Obviously, I'll go into it in more depth because there's so much to talk about. And obviously, like when I got on medication, and there is actually 2 guests that are lined up who have been diagnosed with ADHD in this first season. So we'll obviously chat to them about that as well, because I think they might already be. One of the guests is on medication, I think. And one of the
guests is and one of the guests isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be good to talk about. But yeah, I just feel like, I'm like, I think I'm going to claim as well, you can claim for it.
Yeah.
Because there's this thing called ADHD tax. This is what we call it. And it's like things like, because obviously you're quite forgetful, always late, this and that. And it's something that you can't help. It's like the front of your brain where you make decisions. It's called dysregulation, cognitive dysregulation. I don't know. This is what I mean. Like, this is my ADHD talking now. Like, it's a disability. It's a mental. I have a disability, and now I know this now, and it does affect my life every single day. And like, even yesterday I was crying so much because I just couldn't do the chores like George could do them. I was like, I just feel like I'm a failure, and you're gonna break up with me because I'm not enough. And he was like, Laura, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
But like, I can't do things like. It's just crazy, like how much it affects my life. And a lot of people don't, but when you have the ADHD tax, that's when like you're so late that you have to get a taxi.
Yeah.
So that's money that you've spent. You forgot a bill, so now you've got to pay interest.
Yeah.
You forget to cancel a subscription, so now you have to pay for that. You forget to pay your council tax, and then do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all these things like end up costing you so much money.
Would it be PIP that you're entitled to?
That's it, yeah. But it's only a small amount just to cover these like small things. Yeah. I think it definitely especially helps people that have children as well, because that's like, obviously you have a lot more of a hectic life. But I do spend a lot on ADHD tax for sure. So I might claim, but I don't know, because it feels a bit dirty, and even though it shouldn't, do you know what I mean? It feels a bit like, oh, why should I take money off the government? But it's like, I don't know.
You also pay tax, so.
Well, yeah, I will do this year, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't last year or the year before, not because I was like
not
avoiding it, but because I didn't earn enough.
It didn't earn enough.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to chat about in terms of me. Oh, I had 3 things I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah. I'm feeling really excited because in 2 days' time, I'm starting a huge mural in my old primary school. And I was saying to her at the time before, I was like, I don't even feel nervous for it, and that just makes me feel great because it's like,
I'm not that. Yeah, no, no biggie. I'm just doing a big mirror. No biggie.
It's already at the front door. Mum's gonna pick me up after the market tomorrow because it's like my mum works there, so I'm gonna stay at hers all next week, and she's just gonna drive me there. And I'm gonna finish at 3 and come back and do like a bit of work on my laptop. It's gonna be great, and yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm excited.
I know, I'm really excited. So like, stay tuned for that. I'm drawing loads of children on a wall, and it says all are welcome, and
I've seen the design, the mock-up. It looks great.
Thanks so much.
It's gone like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really positive one today because we're so like,
just the change.
We're feeling great, aren't we?
I think the change is needed. Yeah, so the end, obviously, if you've made it this far, amazing, but we did want to kind of talk through in a little bit more detail as to what's kind of going to happen moving forward. We have touched a bit on it in the beginning. So, like we said, obviously, now we've told you everything that's going on with me getting a job and Laura just being super busy, and because of, like we mentioned, we want every episode to kind of shine and to get enough time that it deserves, because we have some fucking amazing guests on.
We do.
And we want you to kind of like engage in them and with them for as long as we can, and we feel like a week kind of, it makes everything cut a bit short. And yeah, because each episode as well is a long episode.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily, it isn't necessarily like half an hour episode every week. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hour episode every week. That's a big commitment for some people.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so we are going to go to, from now on, we are going to go to once a fortnight.
Yeah.
We have, I think, 5 more episodes after this one.
Yeah, so
let me have a look.
This season's going to be 20 episodes.
Let me just get this up quick so I can tell. Yeah, so we've got this one, and then the next week will be in 2 weeks. And that... Will that be in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be in 2 weeks. And we've got Kawaii Studios on, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
And then after that, so after today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 more episodes after this, and they will be every 2 weeks. So the season 1 finale will be on the 26th of September.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have, 26th of January, February, March, April, May, June, July.
July.
Yeah, we'll be on the 26th of July. That will be season 1 finale. And then we will have, me and Laura are going to have a few weeks off for August.
August is off.
We're
going to have a party.
Yeah, we're going to just chill for a bit and see what's happening. We're going to assess and see how we can come back. We're definitely coming back for season 2 because we really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we'll do, the structure might be different, but that's something that we'll work on and keep you updated as and when. But yeah, so in August, or maybe in June, July, if you would like to be on the episode, you can leave us a DM us, or you can fill in our guest form.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on. There are some emails that we have to apologise. There are some emails that we've not responded to in maybe like 3 weeks, because me being in complete denial of all the jobs that I've needed to get done have taken my emails off my thingy.
And also I never actually got around to putting that email account on my emails, because guess what, I've got ADHD.
so that's Laura's just little excuse for everything now. Love it.
But it actually is, though, do you know what I mean?
It definitely is.
I forgot.
But yeah, no, so we will be messaging people back.
But don't be upset.
Please don't be upset with us.
Don't feel rejected. Yeah. We're just all over the place.
No, but yeah, we've had people message us saying, I'm like people who have been on, being like, I didn't want to put on a quote form because I didn't want to get declined. But don't worry about that, because I'm sure if we don't think you're a great fit for the podcast, it's just don't feel you're a great fit. Do you know what I mean?
But most people that we have had
on.
Do you know what? Actually, we had that meeting, didn't we? Where we had like quite a few to get through. I'm like, right, let's say yes or no. Literally every single one, we were like, yes.
Hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.
Leave us 5 stars.
Yeah, I don't know if we've had any reviews yet. I think we've had a few.
I think my mum's left one. Thanks,
Oh,
Tracy.
But yeah, if you are, obviously, no worries if not, no pressure, but it does take 2 seconds. So if you are thinking, I mean, obviously, if you're thinking, this is awful, please don't leave a review. Like, you don't need to. But like, if you're thinking, oh, this is really great, please leave a review. So that, because that'll help other people to find us as well.
Yeah. All of our details will be in the description or the show notes, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
We can't say see you next Tuesday anymore, what Roxanne just said, but she said the C word, so we've had to cut that. Yeah, because that's a bit too far. The F word's alright. C word.
I love the C word. I love it. I think it's
makes
such a
everything
good word.
dramatic.
It makes it so dramatic, and it gets the point across.
Yeah.
I love the C word.
So next Tuesday, we will see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, we will see you next Tuesday. So we will see you in 2 Tuesdays. See you in 2 Tuesdays.
See you in 2 Tuesdays. Bye.
Bye.